it's Dr. Elizabeth Bowles from Integrated Health Solutions, and today we're going to talk about how to optimize your driving posture. So when you're driving, it's a very repetitive activity for most of us, and a lot of times we have a slouched position that we just sort of fall into that we might not realize. So I'm going to go over a lot of the common offenders, a lot of the common things people do that cause shoulder pain, neck pain, low back pain over time. I think we all pretty much know what the proper posture is, but I'll just give you some alternatives so that you have other ways to sit where you're not bothering your body over time with repetition. So one of the most frequent things people do that they shouldn't do is they slouch to one side. It could be either way, but very often it's into the console, and a lot of times people will put their elbow into the armrest or into the console and load that shoulder. So this does a couple things. One of them is it shortens the core on that side, so you can get a lot of low back tension. It also can affect the hip, and you can get some hip tension. And since it's loading the shoulder, it can make the shoulder and the muscles of the neck really tight. And over time, especially since when you're doing this, you have sort of like an opposite head tilt to match it so that you're still looking on the horizon. So that's one thing that I would change, is make sure you're not like falling into the sides. Occasionally somebody will do it into the door, but usually not. Another thing is having your arm on the window or out the window. That's not a great place. It's really pretty high for a lot of people. That is a little bit more dependent on the vehicle, but if it's pretty elevated, it's too high to keep there all the time. Other thing people often do is hold at the top of the steering wheel with just one arm. This also sort of puts you into a little bit of a lean sometimes, and can cause shoulder pain in as little as a couple of weeks if that's how you're driving all the time. You want to, if you're going to do that, at least take turns and make it a little bit more balanced and even, and sometimes driving underhanded or like in the traditional 10 and 2, just to switch it up some so you're not always doing something the same way. The issue isn't always the posture, it's just the repetition of the posture. But you know, when you consider that you're sitting there in a position and you're like, there's vibration, there's bouncing, there's starting and stopping, and if you're not in a good position, it can really cause a lot of tension and irritation in the body. So those are some tips for driving so that it doesn't bother you as much, especially on long trips. Follow and like our page for more information like this.